angena ya simba first period Jesu loko huma xikolweni ya practice kerekeni loko a vuya kaya ka khongeliwa ka etlele ku dyiwa Yesu ntsena a hela lembe ri feyili n'wana lembe ri hela n'wana feyili what i dya Yesu right swi leswi that's why human intelligence ya nkoka. We must have some form of intelligence that is able to operate as Mhayivava jaro flying bacha danuna city even amukela ka that channel that means
ni live ka interview ya Mhayivava se unlock ta improvela ku a hi tsikanangi Inkomu ni ta vuyela hansi
i Mhayivava
va vhakachesi lungana va tsaka va ku ku tima thosi kerekeni
jaro kula imbacha danun a xi yi tivi
mina tala hi mina like that favor
walava a wu lava
it doesn't yo akamokwata walava ulavi yawena nam amukela ka the channel that matters swa ku bobobo ni nge swi endli namuntlha first on ni lava hi ya vulavula hi AADP as a political party launched in Giyani. I think Shilumani hotelele Giyani. I think I'm right. Mkumba no rhandza ku chance ka titimela mara na lunga ni ri one a ri lavani va lavi vanhu lava ta ku dyela swimala leswi nga na swoho va ku dyela na nkarhi va tlhe va ku khomelela. Benny Mayengani has launched his political party at Shilumani Hotel, and they even released the founding manifesto. So a founding manifesto, in an essence, it documentally, it's like a founding document, MOI, Memorandum of Incorporation, if Akure Campaign. So it's a founding document of the organization. So it's like, this what identifies the organization. This is what establishes the organization. So it is also will never deviate from that founding manifesto unless if the need arises, but generally, usually you never go outside the founding document. So I want us to go and read the document. I'll just choose some parts, and put our comments then. Benny Mayengani angasungule namuntlha swa tipolitiki. Benny Mayengani white governance at the local state ku languta kanjani, and i mhaka ku hi tele timbilu ta lunya tanihi Vatsonga, hi vanhu vo zondana, hi vanhu vo rhukatelana on social media. If it's not Philani rhukateling the twins, it's the twins rhukateling the Philani, it's Philani rhukateling mani, it's Papa Rolani dwelling mani mana yena. If that's not the case, it's Manyangatsi if it's not like it is it's out of order, man. It's like the only thing that we enjoy is the hatred that we get from each other. It's like there is no even 1% of love from me to someone. It's all about criticisms, no compliments. It's all about making fun of each other, destroying each other. That is what it's all about. I'm saying this why? Because Kuva Osunguna political party is not a child's play. And for Benny Mayengani to use his name to front this political party is not a child's play, my man. Why? Because do you know how many doors have closed for him now? Because is politically affiliated with a new movement. Those are established movements. You know you're going to benefit if you are a person of of that caliber like Benny Mayengani. Benny Mayengani can say, I'm a member of the ANC. So if he's a member of the ANC, but organize the events that ANC, they will invite him to their events. But who are event organizers, they are not organizing ANC events, but they organize events which they are normal, but those are members of the ANC. So once you become a political affiliated, they might not be willing to work with you. My business. So that's one comment I wanted to put across. Let's give him the credits, the courage, my man, the risk that he's willing to take for his career and for the moolah. It's like, for me, it's about like let's congratulate him for taking that risk. It will inspire the rest to take other risks in their lives, but for moon, I got to take that risk. I'm available. I will do this. It came from within. I'm putting Johnny AADP on my super minded, and so I'm not saying this because the member of AADP or I'm willing to be an AADP member, not even a voter. Because sometimes people can say, I'm a member of AADP, but they are going to vote EFF. Do you understand where I'm coming from? So I'm not a voter of AADP, and I am not a voter or a member of the AADP, and I'm not willing to be. And it's not like no one call. And people try to recruit me, I'm not interested. It's my right. Right of association, freedom of association, sure, yeah. So Benny Mayengani anganyuwani ka swa politiki. Lo mna tsundzuka loko ta ba ngoma lakho lo wa nhloko no twa nungu zonda mimalima no twa nungu rhandzu. So azonda Julius, azonda Jacob Zuma, and avula ku rhandza Julius Malema, but we were just campaigning for the EFF then for the elections. So I'm for Malema, I'm not for Zuma, just to demonstrate this political standing. So it's one of the things that you need to take a look at. Where is this guy coming from politically? And even in 20 iyavotela EFF ya dichuana vamanimana vari kona emzabalazweni. That was his second song in the EFF Jazz Hour. So i munhu loyi a nga va involved ka swilo swo tala ka EFF. Tsundzuka loko Peter Mokaba yi ta feyila, the first thing he did was to call Floyd Shivambu so that they can open the gates because they were refusing. So i munhu loyi a nga va cancela ka EFF a Joburg. So hence I'm like, he knows the local governance. I munhu loyi a nga, what else did he do? He went to school when he was in the EFF, because in the EFF we specialize about going to school. So he went to school. You know, I'm both college, that's what people might want to claim to be. You might have some form of capacitation, you will have some form of understanding of different things, like you will have a better reasoning capacity than before. So Benny Mayengani went to school. I think it's 17 January 2020, before his birthday. He resigned from the EFF, and then he was not even, I don't think he was excited or blah blah, but I think because of Rungo Madlumo's being taken to parliament, not him. So he has been, I think he has been obsessed with parliament because he missed that opportunity, and this is the first after he left the EFF. This is the first general elections after he left the EFF. So in my own opinion, he has been obsessed with going to parliament. I don't know what he was going to do to parliament. I don't know where Leonan. Vulavula ni vamati. Hayi, ngomilava ni miendlela yini na. Vulavula ni mwela parliament. Amilava ni miendlela yini na. So I think it's an obsession. So he's that dude, nje. He's just that dude. So for me, if it's an obsession, it's not worth voting for it. But if it's genuine, If you believe in it, vote for it. So, Benny Mayengani, even here, is being addressed as President Benny Mayengani. Benny Mayengani called himself president when he was in the Limpopo poison. So, when you call yourself president, you are trying to say, I'm superior than you. It was never politicized then. You are just saying, but I'm the president of Xitsonga music. So, it's like, I'm the head. I think then it was just to demonstrate to what Dr. Thomas Chagukuru, now so president. So king, what, because Banbotala Batutana king, by Siva Prince, Basoli the king, Timbani the king, Pen the king, General Muska is a general, King Tsonga. So most of these people, they call themselves king. Most of them, they associated themselves with lions. Only Benny Mayengani came with President Benny Mayengani. And then now it's like in I think in 2022, and before September 2nd, Philip Failure, he released a song called Yamagaza Sukin, where he said, "Hurrah!" So, hurrah, I forgot what it is, but it was used in other African countries and outside Africa for something like Amandla. So, I want us to go and read this manifesto, which was launched in Shulumano Hotel. This is where his political party is launched. This is his second political existence, like outside EFF. Now he's here. That's where Washogo now. That time we will see him performing the ANC events. Man, I got to show we performer in what capacity, as a member or as an artist that is invited to come and perform. Like Dr. Thomas Togo went to perform to EFF. Doesn't mean that he's an EFF voter or a member. No, just perform there because it's paid, doing your artwork, entertaining their members. Done. Simple as that. Right? So I'm going to read this manifesto because, in my own opinion, the way it's drafted, it's poor. I don't think they hired an expert to write this thing. I think they just found some people who were expelled from their political parties to come and write this document with no better understanding of politics. They just found some political weeds and then used them because they saw them fit. So so we're not going to read this 6-page thing long. So finally this thing. I think like so I might not be able to read this thing properly. Damn it. So the AADP was established during the era where South Africa was in huge crisis of high unemployment rate, poor service delivery, dilapidated infrastructure, food and fuel prices hike, high level of corruption, unreliable judiciary system, the collapse of state-owned institutions, the low esteem in the Chapter 9 institution of the Republic, dysfunctional parliament, and dishonored executive. So this is to give a highlight of why are we forming this organization, because we realize that there's a need for a new political party, but they're just giving the all the negatives about the state in general, because state has different organs. There's a judiciary, there's a legislation, there's Chapter 9 institutions. So Chapter 9 institutions, what do you find there? The public protector, whatever, and other things that are there. So I think I must change. Maybe we'll tell you. We are bringing to South Africa the solution to all the challenges. We are bringing to South Africa the solution to all the challenges which are faced with the citizens on daily basis from the dawn of the fake democracy in 1994, 29 years ago. AADP, it's a people-centered organization which shall operate with the echoes and demands from the hearts of South Africans. We experienced over the years how the liberation movement, which is the ANC, which is the ruling party, derailed the state from its obligations, including the state capture, corruption, and maladministration. AADP is anishoko Benny Mayengani swaku maladministration swi vula hina nga swi tivi. AADP is anti-corruption and will rule with integrity, honesty, accountability, and transparency. So when you listen, you will rule. Where are you going to rule? Because even in your own ways, you say, Hangena parliament, parliament. No, Sangena parliament, like their only hope is to get into parliament because they can't govern. They are registered in 4 provinces, which is in Mpumalanga, Limpopo, Gauteng, Northwest. So if you check these provinces, they all have footprints for Vatsonga. There is Vatsonga everywhere. If you want to check that, check by the gigs. And indawo leti nga swona ngopfu ku na mapurasi hinkwako loko ya Northwest hala ku na mapurasi man'wana suka loko ta Shanbeg ku tele Vatsonga ya le Mozambique na Mavenda, and then Gauteng Manuela le Gauteng, Mpumalanga no Bushwan, Limpopo majority Vatsonga na Masotho mabedi. So that's their own. They are targeting to go to parliament, and hence I'm saying it's an obsession with parliament, with a parliamentary seat. AADP ideology. So ideology is what data. It's like it's for me. Ideology meaning is like who you are. What are you? What do you stand for? Do you understand that? So let's see. Say ideology is a system of ideas and ideals, especially one which forms the basis of economic or political theory and policy. So political theory, EFF, where the leftist organization, where we subscribe to Lenin, we are whatever. So let's see AADP ideology. The Action Alliance Development Party is anti-apartheid, pro-Africanism, leftist movement. Just go back to the EFF, man. you still have Babalaza EFF. Just go back. It's not a crisis, but I won't give you a seat. A leftist movement aiming at uniting South Africans. Service delivery, and creation of jobs. Hey, let's read this line again. AADP, the African Alliance Development Party, is an anti-apartheid, pro-Africanism, leftist movement aiming at uniting South Africans, aiming at service delivery, and aiming at creation of jobs. So there I was missing it because I was thinking they're saying aiming at uniting South Africans, uniting service delivery. That's why we are calling Jankok. A black consciousness movement in black consciousness movement fighting for black economic emancipation and total eradication of poverty through the implementation of Freedom Charter as stipulated. Freedom Charter even the first realized the changes of the current constitution of 1996 of the Republic of South Africa, and to focus on total radical economic. Just go back to the EFF, man. This must be done through the executives. Like executives, they are talking about the ministers or the cabinet in general, ministers and led by the president. So this must be done through the executive and parliamentary process to change the status quo. So that's how it is. It's just poor, man. It doesn't give the vision, it doesn't give like the sentiments to the organization. Okay, you are anti-apartheid, you are pro-Africanism, but what makes you pro-Africanism? There's nothing, honestly. It's just ways that they found them. This thing was supposed to be given to an expert, a political expert or a political animal, who will be able to write a document that was going to be presented. Because if this thing goes to people who would want to fund it, who would want to fund such nonsense? I'm about to close this video. Formation. AADP will exist in two spheres as the mother body and the youth wing in its inception, focusing on 4 provinces of Limpopo, Gauteng, Mpumalanga, Northwest, and shall contest provincial and national elections in 2024 general elections, and it will contest SRC elections in many institutions of Ireland. The growth of this organization to other provinces will depend on the popular demand in those 5 provinces. So the smart thing is that don't use your little resources in a bigger space like in politics. So once you invest your resources to small constituencies will allow you believe that these are going to be my voters. So when you invest your money, just like what Action SA did at the inception, they did that. So here I'm going to go to the table points. I'm going to pick 3 out of 20 that I did. Number 1 is the religion. So in the religion, then AADP will the following shall be our founding principles. So regardless of what happened, they will never deviate from this. AADP will prioritize and respect the religion practiced by different people in South Africa and shall treat all of them equally. That's normal. Action Alliance the Political Party founding manifesto as delivered by President Benny Mayengani on the 5th of August 2023 at Chuluman Hotel in Giyani, Limpopo. Oh, this is like the upper part, like it's just telling you what document it is. So number 2, studies reflect that 85% of the total population in South Africa is allocated in churches. Studies reflect that 85% of the total population in South Africa is allocated to churches, and these people are reluctant to go to the voting polls. So they have difficult times to vote. These people, reluctant means that like they struggle to go to the vote. Nisho ka be good so reluctant anga sisule it wa reluctant. Ma reluctant nisho ka ngasti. Ana sila uthari nyana silizo. Utwana shilungu. AADP will fight for the restoration of God. AADP in all areas, including religious education and Bible studies at school and higher education centers, which essentially script. This is the fuckery, man. Like fuck it. It's a stupid point for me. Why would we take our school to go and do Bible studies? Like, what stupid is that? I'm a Christian. I'm in support of people learn about the Bible and being biblical. But I want to be an accountant. And then I'm busy learning about Jesus in class. That's what you want us to do as the president of the country, or president of AADP, or as an organization. I don't know why I joined the school. I mean, like, because they avoid the social moon. I school and I joined the Bible. Ungana university like complex matters. I'm going to Jehovah and you can't say why don't you teach us about our African tradition? We can't, because our African tradition is based on surnames. That's fuckery, man. We can't be doing Bible studies now. They must do it in churches. Those who have probably, I know you are here, they wrote this so that to please these masters of pastors. No, that point must be scrapped out. Can't take my kid to go and learn about the Bible. So here as a child, kuna zvin'wana loko byi twa kereke na hi goodwill a bya ha twisisi. ya exikolweni nampundzu a fika a nghena ya assembly first period Jesu loko a huma exikolweni ya practice kerekeni loko a vuya kaya ka khongeliwa ka etlele ku dyiwa Yesu ntsena a hela lembe ri feyili n'wana lembe ri hela n'wana a feyili what i dya Yesu right swilo leswi that's why human intelligence ya nkoka. We must have some form of intelligence that is able to operate us. We can't take our school kids to go to school and do BB. AADP will. AADP believes that this country needs Minister of Religion and Parliament to take care of the religious leaders and other religious affairs. I agree with that point. I'm very sure now, but I think to a certain extent. Mara loko hi languta kahle mhaka leyi hi languta kahle hambi yo teka vuhosi byi ni nga va ka Chauke it's fine. Hi ku xinyori hosi ya hina ka Gaza or kanjhani. But I mean give na problem loko xinyori ko va yo hosi va ya swi nyika loko kusuka yo nghena themba loko kusuka themba n'wana themba byi va hi fuma hi va ka Chauke or kanjhani. Loko yo fuma hi vanhu van'wana hi nga dya hi tiphayiphi fucking popular. Let's go to chieftaincy, traditional houses and traditional leaders. It's more like the same thing, but let's just read it through. I won't go to education because the AADP strongly believe that traditional leaders, the Royal Highness, is the foundation of human rights and the land belongs to them. But I think also powers must be distributed to the people that are there. So when you want land, you must not be going to imagine so millionaire to Lamaji or allow sign shit. Because of ya kwala ka nduna fika hi sign so ivi ye nkarhi wo n'hweti na n'hweti a teka swilo leswi a swi submit kumbe no penga.
No, that's very useful, man.
Imagine suka le ka million a Dix
Zile.
No politician or political influence must divide the traditional houses, but they must be allowed to deal with their matters separately and traditionally. Okay, I agree with that. These are the custodians of our culture and tradition. Fuck it. I'm going to the last one, foreign policy. No, Shitel, I think we might come back as we read this thing. I'm going to go to the foreign policy because I think it's one of the issues that affects us. AADP believes South Africa belongs to South Africans, but not all who lives in it. So South Africa belongs to South Africans, but not all who lives in it. Meaning, the foreigners, they don't belong to South Africa. Okay. All people coming from any African country to South Africa must be called visitors. Please note that because I read this before. And anyone coming from other than the African country, other than African country, must be called a foreigner. Do you understand that good way?
Yeah, I do.
What does it mean?
It's like let's take kunavanguveni loko wun'we wa le ka
ni kombela ku tirhisa xivongo xa ka Mathivula na xa ka Khosa xa nguveni laha swi tirha ka Chaka.
Okay, se wun'wana wa le ka muntu wun'wana wa ka nguveni i ta vhakacha ka muntu lowa i ta n'wi vitana munhu wa ku vhakacha. But if kuna munhu wa let's say maybe xivongo xin'wana xa ka Khosa loko a ta laniwa yaloye hi ta n'wi vitana ku i foreigner in this family. So in that context, kuswaka context, it's like everyone in Africa we're like a family, mara we are in different households. Mara luwa wako wala Africa ifana na munhu wa le ka Khosa mara Africa hinkwayo ile ka Ngoveni.
Oh, like in a simple sense, in terms of surnames, it's like loko me nita kan'we ka Baloyi, I'm a foreigner, but loko ta munhu wa ka Mathebula un'wana wa la kaya, it's like a visit.
Yeah.
Waswa swongo leswi u nga swi tirhisa kahle.
Nigga.
But I like that. I love the way they put it.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Because I feel they know kuna ina Mozambique ngad ID.
Hey, man, keep going, man.
Yeah, but I'm just telling you the truth.
It's very crucial, man. You can't just play things like that, man.
All people coming from any African country to South Africa must be called visitors, and anyone coming from any other country than Africa must be called a foreigner. Borders gates must have 2 lines, one for visitors. You know, when you go to one for visitors, one for foreigners.
That one is extra, man.
Hey, that dramatic. And my Benny Mayengani, the artist, everything is just creativity. The same borders must have 2 lines, one for the visitors, African people in brackets, and the other for foreigners, open brackets, anyone coming from in any other country than Africa. So AADP believes in Africanism but do not believe in illegal visitors, illegal foreigners, and illegal mining.
Wow.
I don't agree with illegal mining, but
come on, demand. Temba man. Girimbo, what but somewhere there. That guy, he said he was shot at 16 for illegal mining in South Africa, but it's from Zimbabwe and something.
It doesn't matter. I mean, he came back. He's still a South African even today when he is fighting the
but he's illegal South African now.
Yeah. But sometimes when you have nothing to lose, my man, why must you be scared? Like if I have nothing to lose, I can go for Zamazamas.
I love that guy's story, man.
It's inspiring, but it must never inspire us to do the way he did it.
Yeah.
It must just give us courage to continue to fight. Because if you have nothing to lose, what are you scared of? What are you scared of?
Nothing. Let's only song about like illegal mining. What is it, listen?
No, I agree with them on like it's a stupid point, man. We're on the foreign produce and then we're dealing with illegal mining.
I understand, man.
Like what does it want there? That's why this thing was written by creative arts people. Actually, this should be the topic, ne?
Amen.
AADP Manifesto was created by creative artists. Close borders and allow Africans to visit each other through borders using proper and legal documentation. Close borders allow Africans, but you say borders must have 2 lines. So like you must be very principled when you write this thing. So you must be very distinct. Like when you say something, you must say it. Don't be scared. Don't be waffling. Because look, close borders and allow Africans to visit each other. While before that you said you must be very expressive in the current situation. Borders must have 2 lines. So, but when you speak like this, like you are flip-flopping. You don't know where you stand, because when you talk about a founding document, you must speak to this document as if you are in government. So when you are in government, you won't have other places where there are borders, and in other places there are no borders. Am I making sense to women? Wallah. All all people living in South Africa without proper documents must be deported with immediate effect. Wapenga. It's like you can't say anything other than that, but they won't do it. So you can't do something that is illegal on a founding document, something they won't do it honestly, but you need to comply. You know, there's a certain level of degree that you must state out on these types of documents, so that you are not being found as incompliant and you might get your party registered. So employment must be 90% South African. Employment must be 90% South Africans and only 10% foreigners with scarce skills. If we employ someone from outside South Africa, it must be someone who has something to offer. Ntanta thola ukuta aka yindlu like mina swi kota ku aka yindlu ku lowu fika u thola zin'wara ku akela yindlu like Inkomu like what you see.
What is Ngwara, man?
It's an example.
Yeah, but like we're even talking about those things earlier. Like sometimes so the same ikuna yange so ndinga kuma swa ku phela yindlu ya yena ayaka nga hi munhu wala Ben.
Mara tumhlola xa ku tsala ngaya.
No, like employment.
Yeah.
Because we are still going to employ them, man. They're good at what they do.
Besides that, they're cheap labor.
Yeah.
So yeah, I will get that, Benny, but you are just dreaming. No visitor, no foreigner must be employed to do work that can be done by a South African. That's bullshit, man. There are people who love to come stay in this country, and so what must happen to them? Do you understand what I mean?
I missed the point.
It's like he's saying no visitor, no foreigner must be employed to do the work that can be done by a South African.
Nah,
it's like no employee. No, if no makamiliyoni must fanele ngatholi upitori makupitori bako kuwa nawe kota kwenza swilo mina ngaswenza.
I mean, these things is like all around the world. It's there, man.
Yeah. So if someone wants to come stay in South Africa, they must not come because people are accountants.
Yeah, bro, now a person it's in high school, you know, because of who.
Zimbabwe.
And not like Mbukela house. Look, I've South Africa. That's why we say AADP, but you know some of our teachers, but so thank you.
I think I should cut it here. So all I want to say, when I was reading through this manifesto or this founding manifesto, it seems like it was written by Budmajul or someone at that level, because it lacks political creativity, it lacks political content, it doesn't have like the content that as a politician you would want to consume. It's like you are reading like a drama of some form of creativity and stuff like that. So whoever wrote this thing, I'm sorry, with the greatest respect, this is a lazy thing. Should have found someone, but I know these things are very expensive, my man. So we live and we learn, but good luck with your movement. Guys, I'm